There are trades, there's free agency, there are different things that we all do to try to build our football team, and you're always trying to do that. And next man up means next man up, and there's going to be a competition for that spot. Next man up doesn't mean you're entitled. Okay, I'm kind of sitting in this spot. This guy's out, so here I am. Okay, I'm the guy. That's not really how it works. You're going to have to compete for that spot and earn that spot.
Jason Garrett, head coach of the Dallas Cowboys, talking about some of his philosophies that relate to the making of an NFL team. And there's opportunities at running back with Ezekiel Elliott holding out. And Chris, the Cowboys, I firmly believe, had no real expectation Elliott wasn't going to show up until he didn't show up. And now they are shifting into business mode where they are saying things very differently. Instead of saying he's the straw that stirs our drink, they're saying you don't need the rushing champion to win a Super Bowl. And they've signed Alfred Morris. The question becomes, at what point do they take a more serious approach to this? And I had an idea yesterday.
Yep.
If you really want to prepare for life without Ezekiel Elliott, and if you really want to upgrade your running game so you have somebody who can come in and take advantage of that great offensive line and be the complement to Dak Prescott, why not give a phone call to a division rival? And yes, trades happen within divisions all the time. Call up Washington and make an offer for Adrian Peterson, a guy who has said many times over the years he would like to play for one of the Texas NFL teams, whether it's the Texans or the Cowboys. He was once on the phone with Jerry Jones saying, I want to play for the Cowboys when I'm done playing for the Minnesota Vikings. And now that opportunity would come if the Cowboys would pick up the phone and call Washington. And whether it's Peterson or someone else like him, you get that kind of a guy on the roster. That allows you to say to Ezekiel Elliott, hey, Zeke, you're making $3.8 million this year, or you're not making anything. It's up to you. We're not giving you a new contract. You had your opportunity to accept our best offer. You refused. We moved on. We welcome you back at $3.8 million, but we're not giving you anything more than what you're already due to make this year. That would be the ultimate all-in business move for the Dallas Cowboys. And I just wonder at what point between now and the start of the regular season or into the regular season they make that move if Elliott continues to stay away.
Well, I mean, in theory, I agree with a lot of things you say. Okay, I mean, yeah, Adrian Peterson, that would be great if they could find some way to get him on their roster. At least he's a proven commodity. He could be a workhorse that way. Still certainly has some explosion left in his legs and his body and all that. And then even really you look at the optics of the Washington Redskins and the running back position and what they got there, they are pretty deep. So, like, within theory, yeah, it could happen. But would Washington ultimately really want to trade to a division rival in a position they know is very important for that team's success and give them that advantage? That's where I would just question if that would really happen. And, hey,
go ahead. Everyone's got a price.
Yeah, you're
if
right.
the Cowboys are offering you enough,
yes,
then you say yes to it. Just like when they traded for Donovan McNabb.
Yep.
Right now, I think Andy Reid knew what he was doing.
Yeah.
But, hey, you know what? The price is right. We're going to do the deal.
Yeah, no, you're right. If there was something that blew them out of the water, they probably would. You're right. They're going to go, okay, fine, you can have Adrian Peterson. It might help you guys out this year, but the trade's going to help us out for the next 3 years. So, I get all of that. Now, the big thing is, and I think the realization here with the Dallas Cowboys, this is the biggest thing. I mean, we've talked so much about how they're built. They're built to run the football. Maybe, okay, this is one thing that has occurred to me. Maybe they know something we don't if they want to draw, a hard line in the sand, Mike. Maybe they feel like their passing offense and Kellen Moore and the things they're going to do are going to be able to carry the offense more this year, maybe. But the other thing is, I got to see that to believe it. But the value of great running backs, okay, Mike, it just can't be quantified. It really cannot. Because, hey, people are going to watch the Dallas Cowboys this preseason and go, oh, look, our running back just ran for 5 yards up the middle. We don't need that. Oh, there's another run for 5 yards. It looks good. The running game looks good. The problem is, and what can't be quantified is, on those 5-yard runs, guys like Ezekiel Elliott or Saquon Barkley, they make that guy miss and it becomes a 20-yard run or it becomes a 60-yard touchdown. Or instead of 2nd and 5, now it's 1st and 10 again, 30 yards up the field because they had the explosion of the speed of that physical gift that got them to the hole before it closed, or they were able to break the tackles that some of those lower-level running backs can't. They can maximize what's there to be had, and that's the greatness, and sometimes can't be seen on a stat sheet and things like that for people to really, kind of take it all in.
Well, and the other thing, too, if you project it to the regular season, the guy who got that 5-yard run did it with no safeties in the box.
Yeah,
right? Because they're focused on taking away the passing game.
Yes.
Because you game plan very differently if it's Alfred Morris, no disrespect to Alfred Morris, than if it's Ezekiel Elliott running the ball. My point is this. If the Cowboys are determined to play hardball with Ezekiel Elliott, because they can say, they don't have to do anything. They can say, we've got you under contract for 2 more years. If you want to stay away, stay away. And at some point, you're going to give up game checks. And at some point, your contract is going to kick to next year. That's the thing to remember. This isn't the Le'Veon Bell situation where you just sit out a year and then you get to go pick a new team. The Cowboys have him under contract for 2 more years. If he doesn't show up by the Tuesday after Week 10, they will still have him under contract for 2 years in 2020. It all gets pushed back by 1 year. So they have a lot of ultimate power here, but the leverage Elliott has in the short term is staying away into the regular season if that's what he chooses to do. At some point, the Cowboys have to ask themselves, do we make alternative plans as part of this effort to show Elliott and all other current and future Cowboys players we are not to be trifled with when it comes to our contractual commitments? And that's where the ongoing year in and year out business consideration may outweigh the short term we need to have Ezekiel Elliott consideration.
Yeah, I hear that, but does it outweigh the short term, I'm Jerry Jones and I'm really old and my team's in the Super Bowl window right now? That's where I throw it. And that's no disrespect to Jerry Jones. He still looks really good for an old guy. I'm not saying anything like that, but, we know he's documented. He said it. He wants one more. He knows he's coming to the end and everything like that. And, this team, when you evaluate it and look at it on paper and look at what it did last year, there's just not a lot of weakness on the team. It's one of the best rosters in football when you really take the starting 22 and everything to go with it. But so much of the success revolves around that run game and Ezekiel Elliott, and they're putting a lot of pressure and unknowns on the pass game and Kellen Moore if they don't have him. And that's one I'd have to see to believe first without Ezekiel.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.